What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing tonight's game between the Chicago Bulls and Indiana Pacers. And of course, if you've seen any video like this in the past, this is my Bulls report. Now, the Bulls are coming off a win against the Atlanta Hawks in their last outing. And it was one of those games where you saw the Bulls play a complete 48 minutes of basketball, and that was all you could ask for. Especially when you look at how DeRozan's been playing since returning from injury. You look at how Zach LaVine has been coming on lately, and how Nikola Vucevic has been almost averaging a double-double over the course of, I believe, the last month. So when you put all of that together and the Bulls just beat a team who's, not what everybody think they should be with the talent that they had, they did beat the Atlanta Hawks. So facing off against the Indiana Pacers, no Halliburton, and they still have a good group, guys that's going to get in there, gut out wins, and play to their best potential. So the Bulls put out, of course, their usual suspects on their lineup. Ayo Dosunmu, of course, to go along with Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Williams, and Nikola Vucevic. So from the onset of the game, I wasn't really concerned too much about, what the Pacers could be capable of. Again, everybody's pros. Everybody's capable of winning on any given night. So Vucevic did get the first basket of the game. It was actually a three after TJ McConnell missed an open layup. So I was excited to see that early. I'm like, okay, Vucevic, and Zach LaVine actually passed it to him. So I'm like, okay, Vucevic is engaged early. Then the next time down the floor, the Bulls get another three by Vucevic. And early on, the Bulls offense was looking crisp, looking spry, looking like they were ready to just, take off in this basketball game after, even after playing last night. So the Bulls did jump out to an 8-0 run. You've seen Zach LaVine be aggressive and get to the rim. You see Nikola Vucevic with 8 early points, actually getting into the paint, getting paint touches, which, of course, you guys know every time I speak on the Chicago Bulls and Nikola Vucevic, points in the paint is very important with him to get early touches. The Bulls actually lead by 10 early in this basketball game, go up to a lead of 15-5 at one point in the first. You've seen DeMar DeRozan get into his spots, and the Bulls jump out to a 15-point lead in the first quarter. So like I said, the Bulls offense was looking great. It was no hiccups basically in the first. You did see 3 early turnovers in the first by Chicago, but that wasn't anything to cause concern for me. You seen Zach getting his offense going early, but TJ McConnell, I believe that's his last name, was a thorn in the Bulls' side this entire game because he's one of those players that do not quit. I remember him from his days with the 76ers, and he was just one of those players that was just everywhere and doing everything. And again, in the absence of Tyrese Halliburton, he has been, filling the void to the best of, the ability for Rick Carlisle. So you do see the Bulls lead after 33-21, but the Pacers offense started to become more assertive in the second. They were getting to the line. You seen Jones Jr. come in, and one thing I can say about the bench play from the Chicago Bulls tonight, that was another bright spot. Guys were coming in, and they were affecting the game, whether it was Kobe, whether it was Drummond, whether it was Derrick Jones Jr. You seen the bench come, of course, Alex Caruso. You seen them come in, and you seen them be assertive and be, that extra spark for the team. You seen Kobe White come off the bench and make some threes. You've seen a great half for Vucevic on the rebounds and points-wise. But the Pacers were getting to the rim. But make no mistake, Miles Turner was engaged from the onset of this game. It was a battle between him and Nikola Vucevic. At one point in the game, you seen it was like a chess match between Billy Donovan and Rick Carlisle to see who was going to put their big man in first after they went to the bench. You seen that. You also seen, again, good minutes by Kobe White. The Bulls bench providing energy. The Bulls do go up by 16 in the second. The Bulls in the first half were just, playing some of the best basketball in that first half. You seen them doing everything that they could do to put the Indiana Pacers away in this basketball game in the first half. Then again, you seen DeMar DeRozan get into his spots. His offense was going, but the Bulls were up double figures at the half. And now in the third, you seen Zach LaVine's offense keep going. Like, his offense was going. He was getting to his spots, getting to the rim and things like that. But the Pacers end up going on a run. And that's one thing about the NBA. Everybody knows. Everybody is, it's a game of runs. So the Pacers did end up going on a run and getting the lead all the way down to 9. But make no mistake, DeMar DeRozan's scoring is what kept them at bay for a while. Now, you did see the Pacers offense start to pick up behind Miles Turner. I mean, whether it was a three, whether it was him getting to the rim, him shooting fadeaway jump shots, you've seen a lot of spots where Miles Turner basically elected to put the team on his back. But you did see Patrick Williams' offense start to come along. Again, just bench production by Chicago. The Pacers do get the lead down to 6 at one point. And the Bulls were just not executing in the third, honestly. They just weren't executing. It looked like a team. In the third, this is where legs came into play. They just looked like a team that played the night before. No excuse, but they did look like a team that played the night before. But ultimately, they did lead by 7 after 3. Now, this is where things got rocky for the Bulls. In the fourth quarter, they just could not put the Indiana Pacers away in this basketball game. The Bulls were up, but it didn't seem like they were up in this basketball game going into the fourth. You seen a team in Indiana who basically took the game from the Chicago Bulls. No executing. A lot of plays, they elected to just run ISOs for DeMar DeRozan, which were working in the fourth quarter. But you coupled DeMar DeRozan's twos with some of the threes that the Pacers were making, and the Pacers were just making better and bigger plays in the fourth quarter as opposed to Chicago. You seen, like I said, you seen bad execution. Zach LaVine was not involved in a lot of plays down the stretch of this basketball game, and I was wondering why. And he was deferring to DeRozan because we all know DeRozan is the fourth quarter, go-to guy for Chicago, but I would have liked to see a lot more. The two-man game with DeRozan and Vucevic was working. Vucevic was dominating in the beginning of this basketball game. I don't know what happened or who said what, but they went away from it. They went away from it. Indiana went into a little zone. Dosunmu was the one shooting threes, and we all know we didn't want him shooting threes. That's not his strong suit. And the Bulls just allowed this game to get taken away from them. Benedict Mathurin with 26 big points, and he hit a really, really big three for the Indiana Pacers down the stretch of this game. And like I said, man, couple that with the turnovers by the Chicago Bulls, they ultimately ended up losing tonight's game by a score of 116 to 110. The biggest lead that the Chicago Bulls had in tonight's matchup was 21, and they just could not end the Indiana Pacers. I'm not mad that the Bulls lost. It's an 82-game season. But I'm upset at the fact that they come out and have a performance like this. You had a chance to put this team away and you didn't. This happens all too often. You'll play a team that you're supposed to beat, and you'll do this. Especially in the second half, where I believe in the third quarter, the Indiana Pacers scored 34 to the Bulls 25, and in the fourth quarter, the Pacers scored 36 to the Bulls 23. The only 30-point quarter that the Bulls had was in the first, when they scored 33 points. But that cannot happen. Giving up 56 points in the paint, allowing, like I said, giving up 16 turnovers, and it's just points off a turnover was 24. It's just, you cannot do that when you are, basically at a point in the year where you're supposed to be trying to turn things around. I mentioned that in my last video where DeMar DeRozan had some things to say. Alex Caruso had some things to say. The team elected to put on a performance like this. Now, mind you, They played a great 24 minutes of basketball, but you got to play 48 in the NBA. That's just what it is. As far as box scores go, DeMar DeRozan was the high man for the Chicago Bulls with 33 points. He did have 5 rebounds, 3 assists. You seen Patrick Williams, a lackluster evening, did have 7 points, 5 rebounds. He didn't have an assist at all. Nikola Vucevic did have 20 points, 8 rebounds. That ends his double-double streak. Zach LaVine, who shot a porous 4 of 14, 0 of 7 from 3, 14 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Ayo Dosunmu, same thing, 7 points, only 4 rebounds and 3 assists for him. Kobe White had 3 assists and 3 rebounds. You seen Alex Caruso, 4 points, 7 rebounds. Derrick Jones Jr. did come off the bench with 10, and you did see Andre Drummond off the bench with 7. As far as the Pacers go, they got a collective. You know, you seen Buddy Hield with 19, Miles Turner with 26, Chris Duarte with 11, TJ McConnell with 20 and 10, Benedict Mathurin with 26, and Taylor, who was also big for them, off the bench with 11. Now, the Bulls do have a few days off. They are on the road currently. This is a road trip, so their next game isn't until Thursday against the Charlotte Hornets, who are without one of their two of their star players in Kelly Oubre and LaMelo Ball. So we will see how that turns out for Chicago. It's a road game. So we will see how they fare in Charlotte on Thursday. Like I said, man, it's a lot going on with the Bulls as far as rumors go. You know, I'm curious to see what the front office does as far as pull the cord on any type of moves, because if the team is going to do this after, you know, going over to Paris, winning the game, beating the Warriors, beating the Hawks, and then you turn around and you catch an L against the shorthanded Indiana Pacers without their best player, in my opinion, Tyrese Halliburton, that just it leaves me questioning exactly what's to come in the future from not only the guys that's on the floor, but also the front office. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Chicago Bulls fans, Indiana Pacers fans, or if you're just an NBA fan and this is your first time tuning into this channel, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.